we have seen that you can identify any regular language by the listing of these four methods that I've told you, that is informal, and that is only based on what we have studied so far. Okay, so the first one is if you are able to draw an NFA for a regular language, for a language, then you can exactly say that a particular language is absolutely regular, because NFA can only be drawn for if a language is regular. So only if you remember, the finite automata is an acceptor of regular language, and finite automata can only be drawn uh, if the particular language is regular. Okay. So another thing is if there is some kind of a memory is needed, keep that in mind. If some kind of a memory is needed, then you can directly say that this is not a regular language, because every memory requires every memory, because finite automata does not have a memory, inbuilt memory. So for that we built another automata called a push down automata. In that we have a memory. So if some kind of a memory function is coming in the regular expression, you can directly say that that particular language is not regular. A third one is if it is a finite language, be it any string, if it is a finite language, you can directly say that a regular, this is a regular language, because for a finite automata can always be built on a finite language, but for infinite language we try to build it. Okay, so sometime it is possible, sometime it is not. Okay, so the fourth one I have also added it, that you are able to write a regular expression for a particular language, then you can also directly say that this particular thing is not this particular thing is a regular, this regular expression. Okay, so another type would be, we have done this type, if you remember, that whenever there are two n's, okay, so you can directly say that it is depending upon the another n. Okay, so any language like this, if it is n and there is a 3 raised to power n, so this is n, this is n, if it is coming, you can directly say this, that this is not a regular language. Keep that thing in mind. There is a dependence of this a raised to power n on b raised to power n. It means that for every one a, if I just put the value of 1 n here, I have to see 3 b's. Okay, so for 2 A's, I have to see 6 B's. So I have to remember some part of it, that I have seen 1 A, I have to see 6, I have to see 3 B's, then only I can go to the final state. Okay, so you can directly say that this type of a format, if it is coming, you can directly say that this is not regular. With the exception that if I just said this, that this and the value of n is less than equal to 100. So because this becomes finite, you can directly say that this is a regular part. If a language is finite, you can directly say it. Okay, so keep these two tricks in mind if you are identifying any regular language. Again, don't worry about it. There are plenty of questions in the tutorial also, so don't worry about that. And the tutorial, I think tutorial 5th solution is also uploaded. So only video is remaining. So I will upload the video for tutorial 4 today at the end of the day. So don't worry about that. And I suggest, if you are attempting, if in some classes the tutorial 5th is not completed, so I suggest you should watch the video again before the quiz that we are going to have, that is going to be held on your Thursday. Okay, so keep that in mind. I will upload the video, don't worry about it. Okay, so now if I just continue with this and add another. Just wait for a minute. Okay. Okay, so there is another type that you can identify a particular thing is a regular language or not. So that type is based on a pattern. Okay, so every time you are able to define a pattern, that you are able to derive a pattern, that you can, obviously means that it can be the finite automata can be built. Okay, so pattern, like if I say that a raised to power n, uh, now if you see what is the pattern here, that a is repeating many number of times. Okay, a, something like this. Okay, so this is also a pattern. Now if I just say a raised to power n and n is even. Okay, so if you see that what the possible numbers here: a raised to power 0, a raised to power 2, a raised to power 4, a raised to power 6, and a raised to power 8. So the pattern can also be thought like what do you say, like what pure mathematical series. Okay, so if you clearly see this, that 2 minus 0, if you see that 2 minus 0 is 2, 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2. So if you see the common difference is same here. Okay, so common difference is same, then you can directly say that this is your arithmetic progression. So this is a AP series, you can directly say. So if there is something called a AP series exists, or a GP series, something like this exists, you can directly say that this is a regular. So another way to identify a regular language is by going these series. Okay, so if something is following these two things, this I don't want to say geometric progression right now. I will only say only arithmetic progression. So arithmetic progression can always be identified by just looking at the common differences. There is something, there is some term which, and the difference is common at every succeeding terms. You can actually say that this comes under arithmetic progression, and this is a regular language. Okay, so again, you can draw automata of that. Don't worry about it, that n is even, so you can directly draw automata. So I just take this now. The thing, the question I am defining is input of a. Okay, so I'm just defining an input of a. So don't think that some of you will be thinking where is b. So I'm only talking about with the input alphabet of a here. Okay, so another thing will be, if I do this in the same way, that a raised to power n, where n is even, you will again see where n is odd, you will again see there is a common difference terms lie in there. Okay, so a3, a5, a7. In this way, you can again see that there is a common difference: 5, 7 minus 5, 3 minus 5 minus 3, and 3 minus 1. The common difference is 2. So you can again say that this is arithmetic progression. So that is why it is a regular language. Okay, so another one, if I just can anybody tell me that this is a regular language or not? A raised to power n, where n is prime. Just tell me in the chat box. Just let me get the chat box. Okay, just let me see what is the answer that you are proposing. Okay, so most of you are saying no, because if you see in prime 1, prime, what is prime, that it should go on its own table as well as the table of 1. Okay, so if it is satisfying that condition, then it is safe. So I can say 2 is prime, and 3, I think 3 is also prime, and 4 is not prime because it goes on the table of 2. 5 is prime, I think. Yeah, I think 5 is, yeah, 5 is prime, and 6 is not prime because it goes to the table of 2 as well as 3. 7 is prime, 7 goes only on the table of only table of 7. 8 is not prime, 9 is not prime, 10 is not prime, 11 is prime, and 12, 12, 13, 14, 12, 13. 13 is also not prime. Okay, so if you see now, if you are able to find any common difference here, if you are able to find, so again, see, most of you will be thinking like that if it is raised to power n, if it is raised to power n, it will always be regular. Okay, so don't think about it. Just see the condition here. So if the condition n is even here, now if the strings are here, now you can draw a automata for this. If you see what is the automata of it, it will be like, it will look like this. Okay, so it will be look like this. Okay, so again, if this is why it is possible, because there is a arithmetic progression, means there is a pattern exists that just confirms. There is another way of recognizing that thing, that if there is arithmetic progression exists, then there is a pattern that follows. Okay, so it depends upon the condition. What is the condition of n? Now if n is prime, now you clearly see this, the common difference here is 1, the common difference here is 2, and common difference here is 2. and common difference here is I think 3 and here is 2. So there is no common term between it. So I don't think if you are able to find any kind of a pattern if the number is prime. So there is no absolutely there is no kind of a pattern that exists that identify what when uh, there is some kind of a pattern or arithmetic progression exists for this particular language. Okay, so that is why this particular language is not regular. Keep that thing in mind, because what we are doing, if you clearly see uh, a raised to power n where n is prime. Okay, so n is based on prime. So what we are doing, we are just raising it to the power of prime. Okay, so if you clearly see, we are not able to find any kind of a pattern. So pattern like first pattern you should look for is arithmetic progression. There is no common difference between it, so I cannot do it. So that is why if you see in network security also, we always use prime numbers. If you have network security and studied about some AES and DES encryption mechanism, there is a thing like what is the RSA algorithm. In that RSA algorithm you have studied, you always go for the prime number, because there is no absolute pattern that what will be a prime and what will be not a prime. So that is why this particular thing is not regular. Okay, just let me look at the chat box. Okay, so under any condition a raised to power n should be regular, right? Because n is greater than 0. So Vineet, if you're talking about the regularity of a raised to power n depends upon the condition that is attached to the situation here, attached to the statement here. And we clearly see a raised to power n where n is even. So directly you can draw automata also, and you can also find this arithmetic progression is also there. You can directly say that it is regular, but you cannot always say that this is regular. Okay, so you cannot always say. Okay, so if what you're talking about is a raised to power n and b raised to power n, okay. Okay, so that is a very good question that you're talking about. N is even. Okay, so now the possible number of strings that there will be existing, that if you are thinking that we can derive a possible pattern for that, you cannot derive a possible pattern for that. Okay, so first will be epsilon, second will be a raised to power 4 b raised to power 4, uh, third will be a raised to power 6 and b raised to power 7, b raised to power 6. Okay, so something like this. Okay, in this one because there are two terms that is raising it to the power of 2, I cannot apply this arithmetic progression. So that is why I'm only talking about this situation. So this is a different situation when the input alphabet is only 1. Okay, so when the input alphabet is only 1, I'm only talking about in this case, not in that case. Okay, so if you're thinking that this is also a regular expression, if you think that that a raised to power 2, b raised to power 2, I cannot apply arithmetic progression here. Keep that in mind. The technique that I'm telling is only applicable when the symbol is only one single symbol. Okay, so that is why I'm sort of separating this with the irregular inputs you are seeing. Okay, okay. Okay, so the explanation for this one is we already know that because we require our memory here. Okay, keep that thing in mind. Okay. So now if another pattern that you can find is another pattern, I'm only talking about is in single input. So don't confuse this with another input. So that is a very good question that you asked. So it I think I hope you should get a more clarity there. Okay. So I just raise it to the pattern like a raised to power n raised to power 2. Okay. So now I just raise it to the power of 1. So find if there is a IP pattern exists and tell me that this is regular or not. Okay. So one answer is yes, another one is no, no. So just let me take a look at it. Just you know what to do. You just raise it to the power whatever it is given in the solution here. Whatever is the condition here. So n raised to power 1. So the least least smallest string will be your 1. So a raised to power 1 raised to power 2 is exactly 1. So I just raise it to the power of 1. When I think most of you are getting the point here that it should not be in AP, I think. Okay, so when I raise it to the power of 2, it will become 2 raised to power 2. So it will become 4 here. Okay, so a raised to power 4. Now if I just raise it to the power of a raised to power 3 raised to power 2. Okay, so first of all you will do 3 raised to power 2, because again most of you will not get confused whenever we are dealing with the exponent operator. Okay, so if you have studied in C as well as in another languages, that the associativity, something called associativity, if you remember it, most of you have studied precedence. What is precedence? Precedence is the priority of the language. But what is associativity? uh, so suppose I do like this, 2 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, so what happens in that, always you calculate this from left to right. Okay, so I say the associativity of plus is left to right, but the associativity of your exponent side, okay, so 2 raised to power 3 raised to power 2, the associativity of your exponent sign is from right to left. Keep that thing in mind. Why? Because if I write like this, 2 raised to power 3 raised to power 2, so first of all this thing is solved, then this thing is solved. Okay, so already you have studied associativity in C and another Java languages. Keep that thing in mind, that exponent is your right associative. Don't go like this, a raised to power 3 and then 3 raised to power 2. So that will be a totally different thing. If it is not a, it will result in different thing. Okay, so this is exactly, if you do it like this, 2 raised to power 3, it will become, I think, 2 raised to power 3 to 4 8. 8 raised to power 2 is 64. But if you do it like this, 3 raised to power 2 is 9 and 2 raised to power 9 is 12. Okay, so that is totally different. Okay, so compilers always use in case of in case of, what do you say, exponent, it is always right associative. Keep that in mind. Okay, so 3 raised to power 2 is exactly 9. Okay, so if you are seeing this, you will again see that if I just raise it to the power of 4, you will get 60. Okay, so there is no kind of a particular pattern that I can find that exists between them. So this is not a AP. Okay, so if it is not a AP, I think most of you will understand that we are not able to find some kind of a pattern in it. So you can directly neglect that this is not a regular expression or not a regular language. Okay, so another, I think this will be enough. If I think most of you understand this method I'm telling about, the AP is only feasible when the input symbol is only 1. Keep that thing in mind, that the input symbol should be only 1. Okay, so I just raise it to the power of a raised to power, I think, 2 raised to power n. So this is also a very important term, 2 raised to power n. That in computer science you have seen this term, I think, many number of times. Okay, so just tell me this is regular or not, where n is again greater than equal to 1. Take a bit of time and think about it. Is this AP or not? To recognize AP, just write the strings and see there is a common difference exist. If it does exist, then this is AP. Then you can directly say it. Okay, so most of you are saying yes. Okay, so I don't think that you have written the language again. So n raised to power 1 becomes 2. Then 2 raised to power, when n is 2, it will become 2 raised to power 2, which is 4. Yeah. So exactly, okay. So 1, 2 raised to power 1 is exactly okay. 2. So again, just I just raise the value of n equal to 3. So 2 raised to power 3, 2, 4, 8 here, and then raise it to the power of 4. So, so long, 16. Then I just raise it to the power of 5. Okay, so if you are clearly able to see it, that this is the common difference 2. this is a common difference 4, this is a common difference 8, and this is a common difference of 16. Okay, so if you see that there is no common difference lie in this term, so you cannot say that this is an AP. So this is not an AP. So you can directly say that this is not a regular language. So if we make the condition n is greater than equal to 0, won't it be regular? Okay, so again, you again put the strings here 2 raised to power n, and n is greater than equal to 0. Okay, so by including a 0 here, only 2 raised to power 0 is, so only single one will come. Okay, so by using this, but the again pattern will again follow like this: 2 raised to power 4, and then 2 raised to power 8, then 2 raised to power 16. I don't think there is any kind of a pattern that exists and that is not AP. Okay, so you will not be able to derive. This is again not regular because it does not lie in AP. Okay, so you know will not be able to, because if you clearly see why I am stressing this on AP series, because this AP series is able to find the common difference. Again, we are not exactly implementing the AP series, but I am just using one principle of AP series that when you are able to find some common ground between the terms, you can exactly don't need to calculate all of it. There is a formula exists, you can directly minimize that term into simple things. Okay, so if I just say 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 up to like many numbers like 1001 is written, you can again directly apply AP to solve this one. So why is that? Because there is a common pattern exists, that there is only a difference between the two. So that is where I am not using AP series and not calculating something. I'm only using the principle of AP, that you can recognize the AP when there is a common difference in it. Okay, so if you are not able to find a common difference, you can directly say that this is not a AP. So if why I'm stressing on the common difference, because this common difference enables us to uh, to find to draw a loop in your particular automata. So only this common difference enables this. Okay, so if you carefully think about this, this common difference will do nothing, it will tell you how to loop it. So that is the principle behind using this AP. Okay, so that is why I'm stressing upon this point. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can again ask me. Yeah, beneath, if it is again raised to power n raised to power and is greater than equal to 0, it will again not be regular. Okay, so what happens in that? 2 raised to power 0, because anything raised to power 0 becomes a 1. So only one A will be included in that. So if you again find the common difference between it, it will not be common between all terms. So you can directly say that this is not a AP, and I can directly say that this is not a regular. Okay. So one thing again, keep that thing in mind, that there is another pattern, that if you are not able to list the terms in arithmetic progressions, meaning just find the common difference in it. If you're not able to find the common difference, you can directly say that this is not regular. Okay. Again, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So I'm hoping you understand this. Okay. So okay, so if I just write uh, okay, so again, sure. So we will move towards the formal method now, which is called your pumping lemma. So just let me open the PPT here. Okay. So again, this is a very simple method. Don't you worry about it. That is very simple. It will be it will be it will look like it will be some mathematics will get involved in there, but don't worry about it. It is very simple, very simple. So again, I'm at the risk of repeating myself. I'm again saying that this is a negativity test. Okay, keep that thing in mind. This is a negativity test. Okay, so if any language passes that test, it doesn't ensure that the language is regular. But if any language do not pass this test, then I'm pretty sure that that language is not regular. Keep that thing in mind. Okay. Okay, so now the definition here, it is written like this. Then the theory of formal languages The formal languages we call the formal languages like regular, context-free language, context-sensitive language, and another one. The pumping lemma for regular language is a lemma. So it is lemma or theorem is one and the same thing that describe an essential property of regular language. Informally, it says that all sufficiently long words in a regular language may be pumped. Okay, I will tell you what is the meaning of pumped here. That is, have a middle section of the word repeated an arbitrary number of times to produce a new word that lies within language. So it is saying that if I'm talking it informally, it is just saying that if there is some language and in that language some string like this, say a b, and that string can be divided into the center string is pumped. Okay, it is saying that the middle section of the word repeated an arbitrary number of times. So it is saying that you should pump the middle word, like I just raise it to the power of b, like a, just repeat it 2 times. Now again, this string should be lied in the language. If this I pumped this string like a raised to power I pumped this string like 2 times. If does not, if this string does not lie in the language, you can directly say that this is not regular. So this is again informal definition. Okay, so don't worry about that. It is just talking about informally. Now formal definition is only based on this one. So we see this. Okay, so the formal definition looks like this, that L be a regular language. Now there will be many variables. Just keep a track of these variables. I will repeat this again and again, so don't worry about it. So first one is that L be a regular language. It is thinking that whatever you give it to the pumping lemma, it will always think that this is a regular language. So it is based on the proof of contradiction. Okay, so whatever you are giving, it will always think that this is a regular language. If it is does not pass, it can directly say by contradiction it is not a regular language. Okay, so every language is you are giving to pumping lemma, first of all it will always assume that this is a regular language. Okay, so L be a regular language, then there exists an integer p. This integer p is your pumping integer. I will tell you what. Uh, there exists an integer p, so keep that in mind. We have seen one variable here p, that p should be greater than equal to 1 depending upon L, such that every string w, so w is a string in L. Now L is a language of length at least p. Now till here, if you understand it, it is just saying that there is some integer, so p can be 1 2 3 4 5 6, every anything which the smallest it will be 1. Okay, so p can be 1 2 up to infinity. Now it is saying that there exists an integer p depending only on L. So this p depends upon the L such that w in L of length is at least p. Okay, so don't worry about it if you don't understand. I think it is a little bit of a confusing definition. Just I will give you an example to clearly understand and list the rules there again. So just don't worry about it. Just go through the definition. Now P is called your pumping length. You can pump it to like 2 3 4 5 6, anything. Can be written as w equal to xyz. So it is saying that if some string in the language, so this w will belong to the language. I take out some string, so suppose the language is a raised to power n. So I just take out some string. I divide this language into 3 parts. The 3 parts is x, y, and z. Okay, so now it is saying that it should satisfy the following 3 conditions. The first condition is that the length. Now this, keep that in mind. This modulus operator signifies here the length of w. Keep that in mind. I've already told you in many questions of DFA. It is saying that the length of y should be greater than equal. If you clearly see in this example, the length of the y is greater than equal to 1. Second one, the length of xy should be less than the pumping length. Okay, so whatever the p you set in the beginning, it should be less than that. And for all I equal to 0, if you pump it, okay, so if I say x raised to power I equal to z, and for all I equal to 0, okay, so if you pump it like y, now I pump this y. Now this should also lie in the language x, y, y, y. I have pumped this y to like 3 times. Now this should also lie in the language. If does not lie in the language, it means that that this string this language is not regular. Okay, so I think it's a little bit of confusing definition. Don't worry about it. I will give you an example so you will better understand it. Now there is another note here. Okay, so this is very important note. Uh, okay, so if you again uh, read some books, in some books this thing is not written. Okay, so I find this property to be very interesting. In some books that this property is not written, and most of the students get confused about this whole technical jargon that is written here. So this is one of the most important thing that I find it online, that if you do not follow this, I don't think that pumping lemma is complete here. So again, note that that x and y, the length of x and z can be 0. Keep that in mind. The length of x and z can be 0, but y has to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so the y has to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so don't worry about it. I will example and explain you. Just copy and paste the definition, so it will be better if I just paste it, clearly understand it. Okay, because you just I take example. Now I know that some languages are not regular here. Okay, so I know that this particular language. Okay, sorry for that. I think my connection was okay. Okay. Now I know that this particular language is not regular. I directly know because we are not able to build finite automata corresponding to that language. So I know that this is not regular. So by pumping lemma, so pumping lemma will fail on this. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. So this is your L. Now because it is a pumping lemma, I will assume that first I will assume that L is regular. Okay, so that is why this is proof by contradiction. Okay, so first of thing, keep that in mind that I will assume that L is regular. Only if it is regular, then I can apply these following property. If it is not satisfied, then I can directly say that this is not regular. Okay, so I am first assuming that this L is regular here. Now, just take a look at it. I just okay. Now, I just write it like this, so you will understand. Just wait for a minute. Okay. Okay. Don't get confused with all these variables here. Okay, so variables are, first of all, the variable is L. So L is the language, so there is no confusion about it. Second variable is your P, that is also called your pumping length. Third variable is your string, so I just write it like this also, so you don't get confused, because only the variables are very high. That is why I don't, most of the students don't understand the definition here. So the last one is your x, y, and z. Okay, so this is the division of the string. Okay, so now I will go it now for the next 5 minutes. Just carefully listen to this. Okay, so it is very important. If you listen to like 5 minutes, you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so now starting with this first thing, that it says that now what I will do. Okay, so I will derive out some string. Okay, so from this language W, I am deriving out some string, and that string is raised to power of pumping length, power of a raised to power and b raised to power of p. Okay, so this is the first condition, that I need a p here. So what is it telling us? There exists an integer, that is p, which is greater than or equal to 1, depending upon the L. Okay, so there will be an integer. I just replace this n with p, that is your pumping length, because I have to pump the string. So such that every string w in L of length is at least p. Okay, so it is saying that whatever be the length of this, it should be uh, at least p, at least the length of p. Okay, so I just how do I do? Okay, now what is the meaning of this, that if I just simplify this term, that the length of at least p, it means that it should be greater than equal to p. So at least p, I can say that at least p, then it can increase to any number. Okay, so it is saying that w, now this w string now belongs to L. Now this W string belongs to the language. Okay, so this is belongs to the language. I just replace this N to P, that is your pumping length. Now it is saying that the length of this string, the length of this string. Now if you clearly see the length, it is raised to power P and B is raised to power P. So I can see the length of this will be 2P. It should be at least the length of P. Okay, so it is saying that this should be at least the length of P. It is you can always also say that it is greater than equal to P. Okay, so now if I raise it to the power of P, this the length of this string AB. Now if I just take P as 1, now what is the length of this W string? It will be 2. So 2 is greater than equal to 1. Okay, so this is your P and this is your 2 P. Okay, so if you are getting my point here, that it is in this first line, it is saying that every string. Now I am only talking about every string. One string here, I am taken one string W, and it belongs to the language L. So I have done nothing. I just taken this language and replace the N with P. Okay, so replace it with pumping string because we have to do some pumping. So I replace this N with the pumping string P here. Now it is saying that it has depending upon length such that every string W in L of length at least P. So it is saying that the length of this string W, it has a minimum of length pumping. It should be a minimum of pumping length. Okay, so that is the first condition. So again, I just simplify this. Don't think about it. I just simplify this more, that I can just say that length of W should be greater than equal to P. Okay, so it is just saying like that. The length of W is longer than P. So it is saying at least P, it longer than or equal to P. Okay, so I can, this is the condition here. Okay, so if you see that if what do I do? If I just raise now the another first condition is satisfied, that that the length of this W is longer than P or equal to P. Okay, so because the length of W will be 2P and it is again greater than or equal to P here, so this condition is satisfied. Okay, so now the second condition, now I apply the three condition for pumping lemma. So the first condition is your Y is greater than equal to 1. Second condition is xy should be less than equal to P. Okay, so now I just take a value of P. So I just raise the value of P to 1. So it will be more intuitive if I just take the value of P as 2. I will tell you why. Okay, so don't worry about it. It will also be solvable with 1. Don't worry about it. I just take it, they raise it to the power of 2 here. Okay, so now when I raise it to the power of 2, this will become A B B. Okay, so now when the pumping that P is equal to 2, so A2 B2, so I can write it like this. Now I have to divide this this W here in 3 parts, that is your X, Y and Z. Okay, so now what to choose, how to choose this X, Y and Z? Just choose it in such a way that it satisfies these two conditions. What are the condition here? That Y should be equal to greater than equal to 1. Okay, so if I just choose this one Y and this one X and this one Z. Okay, so if I just choose this, but for first condition is satisfied, that Y, the length of Y is greater than equal to 1. But the second condition is length of XY should be less than equal to 2. Okay, so it should be less than equal to the pumping string, pumping length is 2. So the length of X and Y is 3. So it is not less than equal to. Okay, so this condition is not satisfied. So you cannot apply it like that. So what can you do? You can decrease the length of it. Okay, so how can I decrease the length of it? If I consider this one as Y. Okay, so just wait for a minute. Okay, so now if I just decrease it, decrease this Y to this only A. Now the length of Y. First condition is length of Y should be greater than equal to 1. Yeah, the length of Y should be is 1, so that is condition is satisfied. Second condition is length of X and Y. So length of X and Y is absolutely 2. 2 is greater than equal to 2 is less than equal to 2. So pumping length is 2. So this condition is also satisfied. Yeah, absolutely satisfied. Now just keep in mind that your X contain one string, your Y contain one string, and your Z contains two strings. So only how to select this X, Y, and Z, the division of it, just if they satisfy these two conditions, then it is all right. Okay, so I cannot take Y as AB, because if I take Y as AB, what will happen? This length of the XY will increase and it will not be less than equal to P. So that is why I have chosen it. Okay. In the second one, what will happen now? Now the third condition is for all I x y raised to power x. It is just saying now I have to pump the strings. Okay. So now if I just write it like this, x y raised to power z. Now what is x? Now x is your a, y is your a raised to power I, and z is your bb. Okay, so it is saying that if you pump this string, this y, if you pump y, it should lie in the language. If you pump y, it should belongs to the language. If it doesn't belong, then it means that this fails the pumping lemma test. So this is very simple. Now just raise it, pump it. So I just raise it to I to 2 here. So already 1 is already there. So I just raise it to the power of 2. So it will become AAB. Now if you clearly see there are 3 A's and 2 B's, it does not belongs to the language. Okay, because the number of A's are equal to number of B's. Again, if you again pump it to 3 also, it will become, so this A will become A raised to power 3. So 1, 2, 3 followed by BB. Now here are 4 A's and 2 B's. So it again 4 A's and 2 B's does not belong to this language A raised to power n and B raised to power n. So it does not belong to this language. So you can directly say that that this string, by contradiction I can prove, because the string does not lie to the language, belong to the language, I can directly say it that this is not language. Okay, so I hope you understand it. I think it will look a little bit of a complex. Don't worry about it. I will solve one more question. Don't worry about it. I will tell you that this is very easy. Okay, so I will take another string. So the another string, another language is a raised to power n, b raised to power something like 2n. Okay, so again there are n's. You know that this is not a regular language, because we have again studied the informal method that I told you that if it is n here, it is n here, you can directly say it. So just depending upon the condition of n, so I just write it like this, n raised to power 0. Okay, so I will tell you that another way also, don't worry about that. So now first condition is replace this n with p. Now I just replace this n with p. Now this is your string here. Now I can directly say it if suppose now what can I say from here, that length of w is longer than or equal to, length of w is longer or equal to p. Okay, so how can I say it? Because the length of this, the length of this will be 3p, and 3p is greater than or equal to p. So that condition is satisfied. That is the first condition. Now the second condition is, now just raise it to the power of 1. So I can raise it to the power of 1 as well. I can raise it to the power of 2. Just go with 2. I will return to this 1 here, so don't worry about that. I will tell you about this one also. Okay, so I just raise it to the power of 2. It will become a 2 b, 2 into 2 4. So it will become a b b b b. So 2 a's, 4 b's. Okay, so now the condition is you can divide this w string as xyz, where the length of y should be greater than equal to 1, and the length of xy should be less than equal to the pumping length. Okay, so the pumping length here is 2. Okay, so now how can I divide this? That suppose this is your x and this is your y and this is your z. Okay, so now the length of y is greater than 1, so this condition is satisfied. But the length of x and y is 4. It should be less than pumping string 2. Okay, so 4 is not less than 2, so that condition does not satisfy. Okay, to check and correct it, how can you choose the y from here? So I can reduce the y like this. Okay, so I will consider x, this one, and y this one, and this one whole of this I will consider as z. Okay, so now what will happen? Uh, the length of y is greater than equal to 1, so that condition is satisfied. Second condition is the length of xy. The length of xy is 2. 2 is less than the pumping length. That is also correct. Okay, so the now second condition is also satisfied. Now you can write it like this, that x, y raised to power I and z. Okay, so what is x here? X is your a, y is your a raised to power I, z is your b, 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 and b. Okay, so now you just pump y here. Okay, so I just raise it the y to 2, so it will become a, b, 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 b. Okay, so the language is a n b to n. So can you derive this string? I don't think that you can derive this string. Okay, 3 A's, 2 B's cannot be derived by this language. You can directly say, if one language does not belong to the if one string does not belong to the language, you can directly say that this pumping test fails. This text fails, and this language is not regular. Again, you can see for another strings. Another string, it can be true, it cannot be true. So again, if I just raise it to the power of 3, now it will become a. Now raise it to the power of 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. It again does not belong to the one, because there are 4 A's and 4 B's. Now if there are 4 A's, there will be 8 B's. Okay, so that is also not possible. You can directly say that this does not belong to a regular language. Okay, not regular. Another way, if you want to if you want to solve it for p equal to 1 also, so I just tell you. Now the condition that I've told you, now here it will come into play. What will be the condition here? That note that x and z can be 0, but y has to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so now what is the meaning of it? Now here you can also apply it. Now when I raise it to the power of 1, now it will become a, p, and b 2. Okay, so now it can be written like this, w can be written like this, a, b, b. Okay, so now again, now you can select this as x and y and z. Now the length of y is greater than 1, that is true, but the length of xy should be less than equal to the pumping string. So the length of xy is 2 here, it is not less than equal to 1, so that is wrong. So what you do, you just delete this y here, and just you can do this y, and just delete that x here. So this is your z. So because the length of x can be 0 and length of z can also be 0, it is already given. So you can think that the value of x here is 0. Now the length of y is greater than equal to 1. This condition is satisfied. Second is the length of x and y. So the length of x is 0 plus the length of y here is 1. So the length of x and y is less than equal to 1. P, that is your t, that is also correct. Okay, so now if you just pump it, now you have to raise it to the power of yz. There is no x here, so don't worry about that. So x is epsilon here, so there is no need to worry about that. Now raise it to the power of this. So now it will become your y is your a and your z is your bb. So just raise it to the power of I just raise it to the power of 2. Okay, so now it will become a b b. So and that does not belong to the language, because if there are 2 a's, there should be 4 b's. In the same way, just if it is raised to the power of 3 here, it will become a and bb. So this also does not belong to the language. You can directly say from here also that this is not right. Okay, so for that one also you can also try it. So I just don't want to do I just don't want to confuse you. That is why I have taken this p equal to 2. Okay, so for every string, for any string, that you can also take the pumping length equal to 3. So you have to have this condition satisfied in your example. Okay, I hope you understand this one. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so I think you should do this question yourself and tell me that this is regular or not. Most of you can directly recognize that a particular language is regular or not. So okay, so this one, do this one and tell me that this is regular or not by pumping length. take like 2-3 minutes and try to again I will show you the conditions here so that it is visible to you. So try this one, n and m, where n and m is greater than equal to. Try this one, take like 2 minutes, I will tell you the solution also. Okay, I think the time is up. So again, we will discuss this question in the next class. Don't worry about it. Okay, so please revise this pumping lemma. It seems very difficult, but it is very, very easy if you understand the concept that I have studied. So I will upload the notes here also. Don't worry about that. Okay. Also, the video will also be uploaded. Okay. So thank you for listening, and you can move on to the next class.